Today I'm giving you 10 iPhone tips that many iPhone users legitimately do not know exist. They're not new, but they may be new to you. They're practical and usable in everyday life, and I'll show you how to use each one. Let's get into it. Did you know that you could plug in your Apple Watch charger directly into your iPhone's USB-C port so that you can charge your watch while you're on the go? It charges from your iPhone's internal battery, and if you use a small portable charger like this, you won't have to fight with cords. I'll put a link in the description below for this inexpensive charger. If you can power a watch from your iPhone, imagine what else the port can do. Maybe you didn't know that you could plug in a USB-C flash drive or an external drive directly into your iPhone and copy photos directly to it by using built-in apps already on your phone. Here's how to do it. Just plug in your device, open the Files app, find the drive you just connected to ensure it's running, then go to your photo library and select the photos you would like to copy to the drive. Click Share, scroll down to Save Files, scroll to Locations, and select the drive. Create a new folder if you don't already have one created on this drive, then click Save. This is also a ton faster than airdropping files, if you have a need for that. Have you ever fallen asleep watching a YouTube video on your iPhone and woken up hours later to some autoplay video that you've never seen before? Here's how to prevent that from happening again. Open the Clock app, select Timer at the bottom right, go to When Timer Ends, and scroll to the bottom and select Stop Playing. This shuts down any media playing when the timer ends, including YouTube, music, podcasts, etc. Keeps you from running 5 or more podcast episodes while you're sleeping. By the way, if any of these tips are helping you, I hope you'll hit that like button and also that subscribe button. It's free to do. Now here's a feature that I missed along the way. I knew that I could look for text within my photos, but I didn't know I could look for sounds within my videos. This would have saved me a lot of time that day I was looking for a specific rainy day video. Your iPhone indexes environmental audio within your videos, giving you the ability to search for specific sounds such as cheering, applause, laughing, screaming, and raining. Another nice feature is when you have found the video in the Photos app that you were searching for, you will see that it indicates those particular portions of the video where the sound occurs by a blue line along the bottom of the video. So if you need to find which soccer clip had the winning goal reaction, search for cheering and there it is. Speaking of sounds, did you know that there's a listen option inside the reader view of Safari? Here's how to use it. Navigate to an article in Safari, tap the reader icon in the address bar, then select Listen to Page or ask Siri to do it for you. While it's reading, you can click it again and bring up Listen Controls. Click Pause, later pick up where you left off. You can also select the 1x icon and change the speaking rate to a faster speed or a slower speed if you like. Next, a button that's often wasted. You know about the Action button, but did you know that you could use it to bring up a menu of your favorite apps instead? Open the Shortcuts app, tap the back arrow in the top left corner to see your existing shortcuts. Tap the plus icon or the New Folder button in the top right corner. Name the folder such as App Folder and choose an icon if desired. Tap the folder you just created, tap the plus icon, then select the Open App action. Then choose the specific app from the list that you would like in your Action button menu of up to 8 apps. It's best to rename it here for each app, since this will appear in the menu. Please note that it will let you keep adding more than 8 when you're setting it up, but it will only display 8 at the most, so just stop at 8. Now let's assign that folder to the Action button. Go to Settings, Action button, swipe to the Shortcut option, tap Choose a Shortcut, tap Show Folder in My Shortcut section, choose the folder you just created, in this case, the App folder. Now the Action button is assigned to that folder. Now give it a test by pressing the Action button. By the way, that menu will stay there until you make a selection or swipe it away or lock your screen. It's a fast way to get to some of your favorite apps. Now for a gesture you may have overlooked. If you need to switch back and forth between a couple of apps that you've been working with, here's the easiest way to do it. If you've ever noticed that white or black bar across the bottom of your screen, it's there to remind you that you can simply swipe left or right and switch to another app. If it's not there, swipe across the bottom anyway, and it will light up for the next move. I've always bounced up to switch back and forth between apps, but this is faster. Next up, some hidden audio power. If you have an occasion to listen to your Apple Music on your iPhone 20% louder than you normally do, there's a setting for that. As a matter of fact, there are 22 different EQ settings to choose from. Let's take a look. Go to Settings, Music, Scroll down to EQ to adjust the volume of different audio frequencies to customize sound. making music sound better, enhancing vocals, or improving clarity for podcasts. It allows you to boost or cut bass, mid-range, treble, to fit the preferences of your audio choice. I recommend trying them and see what works best for your hearing range. Now let's look at a setting that can save some embarrassment. When you're in Photos, for example, and you click the Share button, it brings up a list of people that you've been messaging lately. If you're not careful, you could send the wrong photo to the wrong person. Let's prevent that from happening. Go to Settings, Apple Intelligence and Siri, Show when sharing, and turn this off. Now when you're in Photos or any other app and you click the Share button, it will not bring up the list of people. Instead, you can just click the Messages icon and select them yourself. I realize that if you leave this option on, it can save time, but can also get you in trouble, so you make the call. This last tip came up as a question and was not as intuitive as I first thought. If you're like many people, when Apple decided to give us a white font in the Contacts app against a light colored background, you may have trouble reading it. Until Apple gives us the ability to use the color font that we would like to use, here are a couple of nice workarounds. This first one is hidden, but is very simple. Go to Settings, Accessibility, Display and Text Size, and toggle on Reduce Transparency. Now you see the difference between the white text and the black text. If you prefer the black text, which I think really pops against any background, then just keep this Reduce Transparency toggled on to make that adjustment. If you'd like to have a darker background for each contact, I'll show you how to do it. But keep in mind that this is set up for each contact and is not a global setting. Apple allows you to customize each contact so that you can select a photo or a favorite color background to suit your personal choices. Open the Contacts app and tap the contact you want to adjust. Tap Edit in the upper right corner and then tap on Add Photo. Tap Poster and select a solid color poster. Tap Customize and select the color icon at the bottom left. If you like the darker blue color, then click Done at the top right. Otherwise, choose a background color, tap Done, and tap the check mark at the top right. Then click Done, and then the final check mark to complete the process. One additional touch that you may enjoy is a setting that gives you these nice borders for the boxes and the buttons, which is especially nice in Apple native apps such as Messages and Safari, just to name a few. Go to Settings, Accessibility, Display and Text Size, and toggle on Show Borders. A special shout out to Morris, a subscriber who assisted me working through these options. Thanks for your help. These tips literally changed my daily usability, so I hope they helped you too. As I was working through these, it reminded me of this: let the wise hear and increase in learning, and the one who understands obtain guidance. It's from Proverbs 1:5. A quick shout out to all my subscribers. Thank you so much. You are so encouraging. I hope you found this to be helpful to you today. If so, please like and subscribe to my channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, it's free to do. Just click that subscribe button, and I look forward to seeing you next time.